Welcome, Nahan. Please start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Nahan. Today, myself and my partner Rajvin will be speaking on the part two of a topic called Why Trainings Fail. Okay. During the last session, we had the part one where I talked about the reasons why very often trainings uh, becomes a failure, yeah, whereby organizations that conduct trainings, they do not really get the full impact, and neither do the participants who attend the program return home with not many benefits. Yeah, there are many reasons, among which I discussed the other day was there were no, the participants' desire. Okay, without a desire from within, no matter whatever training we attend, it may not be impactful. Okay. So the desire to receive the knowledge, the desire to change must come from within, not because we are told to attend a particular program or a training. Okay. Another reason which I mentioned was uh, very often trainings do not have specific strategies. Yeah. Without a proper strategy, there will be no focus, yeah, on really what we want. The third one we discussed was training sometimes has no relevance with the needs of the organization or the participants. Okay. Also, no proper TNA, training need analysis, being done before engaging a training. And also, I did share with you the environment or the circumstances which is not conducive enough for participants to be attentive. Very often, participants attend and they are not satisfied with the sitting positions, the environment, the ambience, the food, and so forth. Okay. And lastly, I also touched on the trainer's compliance and competence in conducting a training that is really uh, expected by the participants or the organizations. That was during the first session. Today, what I'm going to explore, or we are going to explore together, is how training can be more effective. Okay. So understanding the fact why training is not, or why training is a failure, today we are going to listen, or we are going to get some knowledge on how we can make the trainings more effective. Yeah. So that at the end of the day, the participants gain and the organization gains. Okay. Meeting is objective. Okay. Let us explore on this. Yeah. As you know, yeah, very often we often see after trainings, participants go back to their workplace and business is back to usual. Okay. The same mindset of what they were before the program. Same environment. Okay. There's no change to this environment even after attending the program. They come back to the office and the environment is still the same. Okay. Without any changes in commitment, without any changes in commitment and passion and the awareness. Okay. It will just be a motivation with a temporary, as a temporary booster. So attending training with the same environment, without any changes and commitments. Yeah, it'll be just a motivation, a booster that only gives a temporary result. Okay, so the training is either irrelevant to the organization, okay, without meeting its needs, or there is too little connection made between the training and the workplace. So both are being treated in isolation. When both are being treated in isolation, the effect would not be as much as we expect. Okay. To many people, yeah, to make training effective, focus need to be very clearly defined. The objective must be very clearly defined. Okay. Tailoring content to the audience, incorporating practical experiences and providing ongoing feedback. Okay. Effective trainings also requires a supportive environment, engaging delivering methods, okay, and a focus on how the newly acquired knowledge and skills can be applied in real world situation. So whatever people learn during the training, okay, it must be applicable in the work environment to see the changes as expected. Now, let me share with you some of the tips on how trainings can be more effective. Okay? Organizations perform at a higher level when they understand and appreciate the value of an employee's desire to improve themselves and the business. Meaning, when employees have an inner voice or inner desire, okay, and they are willing to learn from the training, then organizations will also benefit. Okay. So we must also know that before engaging any training, there has to be a process. Okay, there has to be a process that involves three stages. Okay, three stages. I would classify them as pre, during, and after. Okay, so these are the three steps that, to me, I personally feel emphasis has to made on this. Right? That is pre, meaning before the program, during the program, and after the program. If these processes are followed thoroughly with a conscious mind, then I believe there would be some changes, some positive changes that everyone will be happy. Okay. So companies must also understand, yeah, that their business unique goals and requirements to create the most effective training. Okay. They must be able to get the managers and team leaders on what kind of training they think would be more effective for its people. This could be done through employee feedback, okay, on the areas they could improve for advancement. So meaning there has to be communication, two-way communication, dialogues held between the team leaders and the members and the team members to really understand what is it they really want. And it must be collectively agreed upon. Okay. This would provide incredibly insightful information about the gaps in their productivity. Okay. Because we all know each individual person in an organization have got different level of productivity. So by understanding all these things, the management or the managers would be able to gauge the gap. Okay. It will also help leaders understand the reasons behind the different performance level. Okay. It is very important. This is the first step we should adhere to before engaging a training program. Once this feedback is done, then a proper analysis has to be done through TNA, training need analysis. How often do we see a TNA being done before engaging a consultant to do a training? Of course, basically big companies, okay, with a lot of capital, with a lot of investment, they would seriously look into these processes. However, small entities, they may not have the resources to go into this depth. Okay, so what they do is the management feels, oh, this is what I need for my people. Oh, this is what we need to acquire. So it is all from top to down. It's from outside in. When there is an outside in initiative, the effectiveness uh, would not be very significant. Okay, what is TNA or training need analysis? It is basically a systematic process used to identify the gap, okay, between an employee's current skills and the skills needed for effective job performance, so that at the end of the day, the people will be more highly productive. It also helps organizations determine what training is required, how to improve performance, and how to achieve the objectives. In short, TNA bridges the gap. Okay, it bridges the gap between what employees can do and what they need to do. So this gap has to be specifically understood before initiating any training. Okay, this is what I call this is the first step in the preparation or the pre-course, yeah, uh, arrangements. Okay, we must understand that TNA works superbly well if only the employee's feedback is incorporated in developing the strategies for any training. Why do I say so? Because when there are feedback from employees, and these feedbacks are taken in a positive manner by the management before inculcating any training needs, then there will be a buy-in from the employees also. Okay, they would be more happier. They would be more. It will be more relevant for the employees to attend training because they feel, wow, their concerns are taken into consideration. Their needs are taken into consideration by the employer or the management. Okay, so this makes I would say, the relationship better and healthier. Okay, thus producing better effects after the program. Conducting a training need analysis before you start putting together your training program is a crucial step in developing more effective training. Okay, what needs to be done? We are still in the preparation, yeah, before the program, in the preparation part. Okay, where I'm emphasizing on the TNA, training need analysis. So what need to be done in formulating the TNA? First and foremost, I would suggest to use the SWOT analysis to find out the weakness and the strength of the employees and also the organization, because we cannot just put the whole responsibility on the employees. Employers are also equally important, okay, in coming up with this training need analysis. Okay. Next is they need to measure, they need to be able to measure the results. Okay. Whatever strategies, whatever things that are need to be done, it must be measurable at the end of the day. Otherwise, no point conducting a training if you're not able to measure. Okay. So along this, you also need to know what needs to be improved, what needs to be improved, and what stops you from the improvement. Okay. These are all studies that has to be done by the management, either through the dedicated HR team or the training team, okay, to find out what needs improvement. After having the feedback from the employees, yeah, after inculcating both the individuals concerned and the companies concerned, you need to know which area need to be improved. What stops them from this improvement? Only then we can identify the training needs. Yeah. Okay. How do we do this in order to identify the training needs? Start by understanding what skills and knowledge gaps exist. Okay, you need to understand what are the gaps within the organization or among the targeted audience. This could involve analyzing performance data, conducting surveys, or holding interviews. It must be collectively agreed by the company, including the team leaders, the managers, the team members. Yeah. Only then we will be able to come up with the final TNA analysis. Okay. We also need to set clear objective. The company need to set clear objective, define, specific, measurable. They must be specific. They must be measurable. They must be achievable. They must be relevant, and there must be a time bound. I would say this would represent the SMART. The acronym for this is SMART. Okay, specific, measurable. Is it measurable? Are they achievable? See our goals. Yeah, the company's goal. Is it? They must be very specific, right? So, are they measurable? Are they achievable? Are they relevant? And it must be time bound. Okay, you cannot just have an objective, a vision without a time bound. It must be specified within how many uh, time frame. What's a time frame for us to see the result? Okay, these objectives should directly align with the identified needs and contribute to overall business goals. So the link must be there. Okay, it cannot be done in isolation. It has to be done as a package. Okay, for example, yeah, let me give an example. If the goal is to improve customer service or customer satisfaction, a training objective could be to increase the number of positive customers interaction by say 15 or 20% within say about 3 months. See, we are specifying the time frame. We are also specifying the quantum. Okay. And we are also identifying the exact strategy. Okay? After having done all this, a proper TNA it must be documented. After having documented this, only then can we source out for the right training. Okay. By this time, the organization would already know, okay, this is what my people needs. This is what our company needs. And these are the strategies. And we have got a time frame to make it happen. And whatever we do along the way, we will have a measurement to gauge the progress. This is how I personally feel a training need analysis that should be done before engaging a training provider. So that is the first part, which is the preparation. Okay. Now let us come the second part, which is during. Again, this is also a process where we cannot hold one party responsible. Okay. No single party is not only the employee's responsibilities, nor it is only the management's responsibility. Okay. It has to be collectively agreed upon and worked hand in hand in order to make sure the training is effective. On the participant side, when participants attend, they must attend attentively, okay, with commitment and the keenness and the desire to change from within. Individual participants must recognize the importance, must be aware of how to get prepared. That is, sometimes we see participants attending program. Okay, why they attend? When you ask them, they will tell, "Well, my company sent me here." Okay, if you further investigate or further you just discuss with them, you will realize actually they are not interested. Okay, because the company's instruction they are attending. So such people, do we think they will pay attention? They will be there physically. Yeah, physically they are attending the training program, but chemically they are not there. Physically they are there, but their mind is not there. Okay, so how can we expect the training to be received in a positive manner? Okay, another fact, company wise, just now I spoke about the individual side. Yeah, company wise, the company must make sure to select the a training that is really necessary so that everybody will benefit, not only the company and also the participants. Companies that invest in training as operating expense may not want to do it extensively because it all depends on their financial budget. Okay. If the business is down, the first thing to slash is training. But companies that invest in training take it as a investment. Okay. They spend money on training as an investment. Then their mindset is different. What they will look at is, I am spending so much on this training. Okay. My goal is to achieve this. And these are the measurement, as what I say in the training need analysis, measurable. At the end of the day, at the end of certain time, I want to reap the ROI. If they take it as a ROI, they're looking for ROI, companies will spend their money in training as a investment, not take it as an operating expense. Okay. Next, trainer to gauge two-way communication during training. Sometimes we see participants attend training from 8 to 5, say the whole day. They will be good listeners. How long can you listen? After some time, you will be out of focus. Okay, but that is why trainers need to gauge two-way communication during training. They must engage the participants. Okay, get the participants to share their views. Get the participants to share their views and exchange ideas. By doing this, participants will be really focused. They will be eager to learn because their counterparts, their friends may have ideas which this participant may not have. So it is collective learning. Okay. So you must always get the participants to share their views. Don't let them just sit down there and listen and take notes. Trainers during the program, they need to use multiple modes to engage the participants. This could be lectures, this could be sharing, videos, role plays, and case studies. As far as possible, try to make all the participants participate. When there is participation, there will be involvement. When there is involvement, there will be commitment. And when there is commitment, at the end of the day, there will be a lot of benefits derived from the learning from this particular program. Okay. Next thing is during the program, must ensure the environment to be conducive. Sometimes we see companies, especially small companies, they have training within in-house training. Okay. They may have a small training room, they conduct training there. You know what happens? The management or the company invites the participants to come attend. Yes, they do attend, but the focus will not be there. Why? To many participants, the room may not be conducive. There'll be a lot of disturbances, a lot of phone calls, a lot of interruptions, you know, and even the food may not be as good as eating in a hotel or in an outside place, in a hall, convention center, you know. So the environment and the ambience must be conducive for the participants. Okay. Proper lunch and sitting positions must be handled with care. Okay. Many a times I also do conduct trainings. Okay. In the evaluation form, one of the questionnaire will be how was the food? That also plays an important mark, which affects the overall assessment. Okay, the food must be conducive. The food must be good. Sometimes even the training is not good, but the food is good. Participants will evaluate. Wow, the program is good. Okay, I'm. These are facts. Okay, I'm talking on facts, on reality. Okay, okay. Trainers should also do a pre and post evaluation. They can have the same questionnaires before the program and after the program have the same questionnaires. There will be some contrast in their markings, in their assessment. This is how trainers can gauge the effectiveness of the program. Okay. If the ratings are the same, then confirm participants do not take this program seriously. To them, it's still the same thing. They are just attending for the sake of attending. But if the markings are different, if the assessments are higher, then the trainer also feels very satisfied. Wow, my program has changed their perception. However, if their markings goes down, the trainer must be responsible to know why is my training not accepted. So this is a process, okay, of during the training program. So I've explained to you the preparation or the pre-course arrangement. I've also shared with you the during processes, what needs to be done, how the training has to be conducted. And finally is the third phase is after the program. So there has to be an evaluation of the program results. Okay. So apart from the earlier assessment, the pre and after, okay, pre and post evaluation, there can also be an overall assessment of the training, effectiveness of the program, effectiveness of the trainer, and the effectiveness of the logistics. Okay, so this would help the organization to know how the participants have perceived the training. Is it positive? Is it negative? Or is it a status quo? Okay. I would also encourage, yeah, I would also suggest, I always feel if there is a follow up session given by the trainer, it will give value add to the participant and also to the companies. Yeah, because by having follow up sessions where the trainer meets up with the participants, say about 3 weeks after the program or 1 month after the program, to understand what is stopping the participants from applying what they have learned. This feedback is very important, okay? Because whatever feedback, the trainers can always give it to the management to look at it, how to overcome these shortfalls. But the trainer must also keep connected to the organization and the participants, okay? So that on an ongoing process, if there are any hiccups or if there are anything that the participants wants to know, the trainer must be willing to assist, to advise. Yeah, not necessarily they must come physically to the office. If the relationship is good, if there's a good connection power, even over the phone, they can always advise. Okay, this is what you call customer service. Okay, as far as the trainer is concerned, if there is a good customer service, people will come back to you more and more often. It is good for the trainer. Okay, so trainers should not take it as a expense to them. They are actually reinvesting back to the company. Okay, organizations also have to ensure that whatever has been learned during the training must the participants must be able to apply in their work. Okay, apply in their work. Okay, and have periodic meetings. The management, the team leaders, the managers, they must have periodic meetings and sharings with the employees or the participants to look for overall improvement. What are the areas we can improve? How far are we able to apply what we have learned in our work? Okay. Engage the participants to share the learnings to the co-workers. For example, I attended training. When I go back, I teach my fellow workers. This is called the 3% teaching. I attend, I learn, then I teach. When I teach, what happens? Uh, it actually improves my knowledge in the contents. Okay, it also enhances my knowledge in the training, in the whatever I've learned. So by teaching to the fellow workers, it is not only I'm just teaching for the sake of teaching, While I'm teaching, I'm also learning. If there are any shortfalls that I can think of, I will improve myself. So the 3% teaching has to be inculcated as part of the work process in any organizational setting. Okay. If these things are being done, I am sure training will be much more impactful. Training will be much more effective, and companies would really be able to achieve their goals, because this is what we call staff improvement, staff development. Okay, they must invest in human capital so that people will love to stay. This is also part of retaining the employees within the company. Yeah. So as I said, yeah, training is vital. Training can be made more effective if the processes are being done collectively, not only from the part of the management, it's also part of the individual participants who attend. Okay. So I think what I've shared might have given you all some knowledge how to improve, yeah, how to make training more effective. Having said all this, mindset is very important. Okay, if your mindset is not right, no matter whatever you want to do, you will not be able to do it. One of the reason is we are caught in so many tasks, personally and also work-wise. Very often we get into the stress mode. Once you go into a stress mode, we need to know how to overcome the stress so that we will be aligned, will be back to align our growth in the company, okay, after attending any kind of training. So for that, I would like to invite my partner, Rajvin. She is an expert in laughter yoga. Okay. Initially, I also did not believe in laughter yoga, but after listening to her a couple of times, okay, I do realize the importance of laughter yoga in every individual. It will make you have inner peace. It will help you to have more confidence to overcome all the challenges that we face. So now, without further ado, I would like to invite Rajvin to do her sharing. Okay, Rajvin, back to you now.
Thank you, Mr. Nahan. Before we begin, I would like to do uh, smart goal meditation, smart goal laughter meditation. Uh, for this, you need to close your eyes. Try to think of nothing and say to yourself, training is not a failure. For this is for train. This is for dedicated for our training, our trainers in consciously positive, and the public in general who will be watching this later. So close your eyes. Try to think of nothing. Let us enjoy and be peaceful. Think of ourselves. We ask ourselves. We have to laugh more. I'm gonna laugh more in order to make my training successful. Me as a trainer or as an audience gonna give inputs that is so beautiful, so uh, revitalizing, and so rejuvenating for our audience. And I'm going to express every content in a beautiful manner, in a beautiful way. I say I prom uh, say say to yourself that I promise to I promise to not view training as a failure. Ha 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 ha. I promise to view training as a success. Ha 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 ha. And I promise to and to ensure I follow the SMART goal and to ensure my training is successful. Whether you are whether you're in a training line or any person in general, you are not a failure. You are not a failure, and you are not a failure. You are going to overcome all your fears with with this hypnotic thought that I am not a failure. So for me as a trainer, I'm not as a laughter yoga therapist, I'm not a failure, and I am hypnotized to deliver trainings better and more joyful than ever before. With that, open your eyes and laugh. Ha 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 ha! Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! So that was overcoming failure meditation for you with laughter. Now we are going to do some laughter exercise. Laughter exercise pertaining to this talk today would be would be uh we would be uh we have to appreciate the training is fun. So laughter yoga has 5 steps: clapping, breathing, childlike play, laughter exercise, and silence. But for today's today's talk, we are going to do one laughter exercise, which is appreciation laughter, changing the mindset that every trainer, every trainer is awesome. Every trainer is calm, and every trainer is good. Ha 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 ha. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! So now that was meditation and um that was meditation and um that was meditation and laughter exercise for you. Now begin to come for my begin now let's begin to explore a little bit of the talk. So a successful training begins as this beautiful smile. I believe that a successful training belief begins with a beautiful smile. So that is my perception as Miss Beautiful Smile for Miss Amazing Malaysia 2023-2024 and laughter. So special thanks to Shabana and uh, Maven team for inviting us to Consciously Positive every 2 Thursdays to deliver this talk. As a little bit more what Nahan has said, I would like to add on that. So why trainings fail is because first of all, a training a training is a passion developed by someone dedicated like me and Nahan and all my other trainers like Mr. Warren, Shabana, and everything. everyone else, as a subject matter that interests, has common interests with the participants. If you don't have common interest with the participants, then training can fail. Most often, training fails because trainers are very stressful into their delivery. They do not speak from their heart. Like my first training experience, when I first started Rajun and Warren, when I first started training, I would go by the books, but now I deliver training successfully because I have specific, measurable, attainable, uh, um, relevant, and tangible goals, and I make it in a fun manner so that uh, we can understand. So without uh, without without laughter as well, training can fail because when you go into a room and you see the participant, you see the participants inside the room, and you see them monotonous and not not participative, then training can fail. Because why? Trainers now trainers now bring their problems at home to the training area, and that's very wrong. That's why laughter yoga can reduce our stress. When we train, we should laugh as well, and we should have a proper flow and proper guidance as to what we are going to do. So, um, so I hope whatever I've explained, whatever me and Nahan have explained, will be useful for trainers. Next time we can present laughter or motivation for dummies in this in this next topic. Does anyone have any questions? Please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajvin. Thank you, Nahan. As we have another program going to start shortly, so we may not be able to take many questions. But Minaji, do you have anything to share? You want to say something?
Nahan, do you have anything to say first?
No, I think I'm quite happy having given this opportunity. I hope we will do more in future.
Yes, and it is really a lot of learning for us because sometimes we take training granted, but then we have to be really more focused and evaluate what we are getting in all of these that you
So
suggest.
whatever I spoke is just from my heart,
Yeah,
my
thank you,
soul.
Rajvin. Yeah,
So that's why.
yeah. So thank you, Rajvin. Thank you, Nahan. Thank you, everyone. And we will see you again tomorrow.
See you in